course, and when women don't have desire, is it really that they have less desire, or is it that they don't have desire for the sex they can have? In order to want sex, it needs to be sex that is worth wanting.
Well, I've said this before, but it's worth saying now again. My partner turned around to me one day and said, I don't like having sex with you. And I was shocked. I was like, this was super early into our relationship. And as a very young man, I didn't understand what that meant. Very emasculated by it. I thought she must be broken in some way. There must be some kind of medical defect. Maybe she needs some pills or a doctor or something. We ended up breaking up. We spent a year apart. She ended up doing some work on herself. I did a little bit of work on myself. We got back together and went on a bit of a journey together to find out what the actual answer was. And it turns out it wasn't that she didn't like having sex or having sex with me. She very much enjoys sex, but there was a series of blockages. And I almost describe it like I thought sex was one language, Spanish. And it turns out she thought she was speaking French. And I just assumed because she wasn't speaking Spanish that we couldn't have sex, basically. Mm-hmm. And at some point I started to view it as maybe there's 10 different languages or 5 different languages of sex. And maybe my job is to learn the language that she is speaking. And I have to say, and I give this conclusion because there's a lot of people that are in that situation right now. I know that because I'd say at one point about 20 to 40% of my friendship group were. We have a great sex life now. And I say that because I think couples often think they just can't turn it around. They think that when one partner turns and says, I'm not enjoying this, they think it's the other person's broken. We managed to turn it around.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. And what is not said often enough is that when people are able to change this, it changes the whole relationship. Mm-hmm. That's what I said before. And I said, you can change the kitchen, but it won't change the bedroom. But when you change the bedroom, it changes the people who walk into the kitchen. And it's very, very important. But you need to do things. You can't talk about not having sex. Let me put it differently. It's difficult to want to have more sex by talking about not wanting to have sex.
Yeah.
You have to try new things.
Yeah.
And that means you take chances, you risk, you explore together. And when it doesn't work, you try something else. And that is what people often find really challenging.